For your Caesar.
It's a 10 Toes production.
For your Caesar.
Rascal Beats.
For your Caesar. Cardiff City ride with me for your Caesar. For your Caesar. Cardiff City get litty for your Caesar. She want a diff boy. Swagger 1 point, yeah, diff boy. She want a diff boy. Swagger 1 point, yeah, diff boy. For your Caesar. Grab a little something for your Caesar. We the geezers. Swagger stone cold like freezers. She want a diff boy.
Yes, guys, I'm Si. Welcome to Cardiff City World. It is here. The start of the 25-26 League One season is here. A new era, a new manager, and a fresh opportunity for Cardiff City to rebuild itself. It kicks off Saturday, 12:30 at the Cardiff City Stadium as City take on Peterborough United in front of a predicted full house, live on Sky Sports. And listen, we have got everything you need to know in this preview. We've got tactical breakdowns, we've got injury updates, we've got key players from each side, predicted 11s, plus, of course, lots of our own opinions as we have a look at how this one may play out. But first, let's have a bit of fun with it. Let's give you a bit of trivia and a bit of history. These two sides have met 37 times in total since 1953, and it's Cardiff who edged that with the all-time head-to-head. 17 wins to Peterborough's 10, with, of course, 10 draws in the mix. The most famous clash, I guess, would be the 2012 League Cup tie, where Cardiff won 3-2 at London Ground, thanks to goals from Joe Mason, Don Cowie, and, of course, the legend that is Peter Whittingham. More recently, some would say more relevant, Cardiff thumped Peterborough 4-0 in 2022. That was at the Cardiff City Stadium. On that day, you had goals from Aidan Flint, Joe Rose, among others. Let's hope for a little bit more of that on a Saturday. But on the flip side, Peterborough have made history recently. Last season, they became only the second team ever to retain the EFL trophy, as they lifted it both in 24 and 25. Say what you want about their league form, which wasn't great. They have got a bit of pedigree in the big occasion, and they know when to turn up. So here we are, opening day of the season, relegated Cardiff City versus Peterborough, who expected better last year. What is going to happen? Let's get into it. So this one has got the makings of a proper clash. On one side, you've got Cardiff City, newly relegated, under new management, with a squad full of young talent and attacking intent. On the other side, you have Peterborough United, a battle-hardened League One side, fearless on the ball, more than happy to play with freedom, even away from home. You've got a young, progressive manager in Brian Barry Murphy. You've got an experienced old head in Darren Ferguson. Both managers say that their attacking philosophy will not change. You have both teams want to attack. Both teams have questionable defenses, so both teams want to make a statement. I would expect tempo, I'd expect goals, and I'd expect absolute chaos. But now that I've said that, it will definitely be a drab 0-0 draw. Let's start with Peterborough. We look at their pre-season, their injuries, etc. Last season, Peterborough finished 18th in League One, far below the expectations. But of course, as we previously mentioned, they did win the EFL trophy, showing their quality, lifting it for a second consecutive year. Darren Ferguson at the helm, an experienced head. He has been clear. Peterborough will not compromise. They will not change their philosophy. They will play out from the back. They will press. They will go toe-to-toe with all opponents, even away from home. So, in pre-season, they lost 3-2 to Grimsby. But, again, it was pre-season's not about the results. It's about the performance. And they did look sharp, particularly in possession. The attacking patterns were there. Their midfield look organised and structured in the final third. But they've got some injuries. They've got some problems in goal. Alex Bass has picked up a foot injury, probably won't be ready. Nick Bilokapovic is currently on the transfer list. Will he start? But they have brought in Hector Reyes from Norwich on loan, so you could see him jump straight into the starting lineup. But it's not ideal. Peterborough, let's have a look at them from a tactical point of view. First of all, we'll go with their predicted lineups. I think it'll be Reyes in goal. I think Jadil Katongo will be right back. Centre backs, Oscar Warlin, Sam Williams, maybe back from his successful loan last year. Left back, Rio Adisabezi. And then in the midfield, I think you've got Archie Collins will be the holder. With Ryan de Havilland and Brandon Kaler, who's on loan from Birmingham City, completing that midfield. And then on the right-hand side, you'll have Chris Clark, excellent player, with left wing Abraham Adoha, who could be a real live wire. Gustav Lindgren up front, completing the team. And when you look at it, Peterborough, like I said, they'll play like a fluid 4-3-3, maybe a 4-2-3-1, but their fullbacks will push high to stretch the pitch. And importantly, Archie Collins will shield the defence. He will drop into the back line during the build-up and form a temporary back three to allow those fullbacks to fly. Now, keep an eye on Abraham Adoha. He's going to be a major, major threat. He's a winger who loves to isolate defenders in the wide areas. And with Cardiff's fullbacks likely to push on, he'll look to exploit that space behind. And more than that, he likes to drift into the inside channel, find those pockets of space between the centre-back and the full-back. He's direct, he's quick, and he's confident in 1v1 duels. If Cardiff switch off, he will punish them. And when you look at the midfield, Archie Collins will be the key. He will drop in between the centre-backs. He will start the attacks. He will give Peterborough numerical superiority in possession. That will allow the fullbacks to push up. That will allow the wingers to stay high. If they're brave, they are certainly structured. It's defensively where they're vulnerable, especially if they're pressed early and forced into rushed clearances or mistakes. That's where I think they may struggle. Moving on to Cardiff City. Relegation last year was rough, right? Bottom of the championship, poor performances, zero identity. But I think you should give a little bit of credit to the club. This summer, they went and got the most important appointment right, in my opinion. Brian Barry Murphy, a progressive, articulate manager with a strong record for developing youth players playing attractive football. And you can see a change in Cardiff already by the way they carry themselves, the way they're playing, the way they move the ball a lot quicker. In pre-season, Cardiff have played with much more intent. One-touch passing, aggressive pressing, high-tempo transitions. Against QPR, they were relentless, dominant against the side in the championship. Notts County, the first half was good. Second half was big physical challenge. But they created more chances and looked far more dangerous in those two games than they did all season last year. The squad is younger, hungrier, and on paper is perfectly suited to Brian Barry Murphy's approach. Now, there are some injury concerns going into this game. Alex Robertson took a nasty one on the shin in the final friendly versus Notts County. Ironically, it was a late challenge from former Poshman Oliver Norburn. He had stitches. He is at 50-50 at best. And then you've got Perry NG not due back for a couple of weeks at least. Two experienced players in terms of the football and this level particularly. You know, Alex Robertson, even though he's young, he played a full season at Portsmouth, did very well, played a season at Cardiff in the Championship. So he's got a bit of experience. And Perry NG is one of the senior players at Cardiff City, regardless of his age or whatever. He's one of the senior players. When you look at the tactical approach of Cardiff and their predicted 11, that's when it gets really interesting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you what I think Brian Barry Murphy will go with, not necessarily what I would go with. So I think he sticks with 4-2-3-1. I don't see a change in that, although we did switch to a 3 at the back in the second half at Notts County. I don't see it. There'll be positional rotations in the midfield and a really aggressive high press. I think we start with Jack Alnwick in goals. I think right back will be Ronan Capaccio getting the nod over the even younger Will Spears. I think with Callum Chambers out, it's got to be Will Fish and Dylan Lawler. Although I wouldn't rule out Eli King dropping into that defence with Dylan Lawler either, but I think we'll go Fish and Lawler. Joel Bagan will be your left back. And then in midfield, I think he'll go with Ryan Wintle and Eli King just to give Cardiff a little bit of control in that area. Ruben Caldwell in the 10, wingers, Kean Ashford, and probably Isaac Davis off the left. And of course, Yusuf Salic up top. The key difference this year for Cardiff, so far at least, has been structure. The fullbacks won't just bomb on blindly. One will go high and wide, one will invert into the midfield and help with the build-up. That midfield will be looking to create overloads and set the tempo. Ruben Caldwell will float, rotate, and feed the wingers and Yusuf Salic. Up top, Yusuf Salic has had a really strong preseason, scoring multiple goals across the friendlies and the behind closed doors games. He is hungry, he is focused, and he looks sharp. He'll be City's outball, constantly looking to make those little runs in behind to receive it, but his link-up play is real good too. So he can take it to feet and allow Isaac Davis, Kean Ashford, and others to get in behind. When you look at the danger men from each side, I think for Cardiff, look, it's down to two, really. It's Ruben, but for me, Yusuf Salic is the guy. You give him service, he will score. He has got the physical presence to occupy defenders, the movement to slip into blind spots. He stays at Cardiff City this year, he will be the top scorer in League One. He is too good all around for Cardiff to replace at this level now. That's why it's essential. They must keep him. On Peterborough's side, after losing Ricky J. Jones and Poku, two massive players, Cipriano as well, a lot of pressure on Abraham Ado. He will look to isolate the fullbacks, whether it's Ronan Capaccio or Joel Bagan, and I think he will switch sides looking for that little bit of space. He's fast, he's skillful, and he's clever. How he positions himself in those half spaces, if Peterborough transition quickly, he could be an outlet that really, really troubles Cardiff City. How can each team win is the question, I guess. From a Peterborough point of view, I think their plan will be get the fullbacks nice and high, use Collins to create a back three in possession and allow them to build up that way, and also try to create overloads in certain areas. They will try to hit Adoha early in space or isolate him one-on-one with Cardiff defenders. They will try to draw Cardiff out and exploit mistakes, exploit the transition, and hit Cardiff fast when they win the ball back. From the Bluebirds' point of view, I think it's pretty simple. It's going to be your stereotypical home performance. At least it should be. They should press high, force mistakes from a nervy Peterborough defence, control the midfield with the likes of Eli King and Ruben Caldwell and Ryan Wintle, use plenty of rotations with Caldwell and Davis and Salic and Ashford, pull Peterborough out of shape and then exploit the space. But the basic plan is simple. Feed Yusuf Salic early and often, and he will score goals. It's a fascinating tactical matchup, I've got to say. I cannot see a scenario where this game ends 0-0. A new manager at Cardiff, a brave, open opponent in Peterborough. Goals have got to be expected. There's going to be questions to be answered. The stats, well, 74% of Peterborough's away games last season ended with both teams scoring. The bookies expect the same again. Cardiff haven't started a season in League One since 2003. And that season, they went up via the playoffs. It is the first step in Brian Barry Murphy and Cardiff City's rebuild. It's going to be high energy and high stakes at the Cardiff City Stadium. It is going to be hostile and enjoyable. I believe chaos is about to ensue at the Welsh capital. So I'm going to stick my neck on the line a little bit. I do think Peterborough will score. especially with the likes of Adoa and Con Clark lurking. I just think they will catch Cardiff at some point. But I do also think that Cardiff will have too much energy, too much structure, and too much attacking quality on the day. And I think it'll be 3-1 Cardiff City. I don't think it's going to be pretty or perfect by any means. I think it's going to be passionate. I think it's going to be fast, and it's going to be chaotic. Let me know what you think. I want to know what do you think the starting 11 will be? Will either manager pull out any surprises? What's the score prediction? How many goals do you think Yusuf Salish will score this season if he stays with the Bluebirds? Thank you, as always, for supporting Cardiff City World. The rebuild and Brian Barry Murphy era starts this weekend. It is exciting, but it's also a bit nerve-wracking. Make sure you like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And make sure you check out the match reaction. I'll have an instant match reaction. And I will be on just this once, the post-match show tomorrow night, where myself and Aaron will break it down all the game. And, of course, the Breakdown podcast. And 5 Things will be back on Sunday. So Cardiff City content 7 days a week. Oh, yes, we've got you covered. Talking all things Cardiff all the time. And we have so much match content now coming over the next couple of days. It is going to be insane. So keep it locked, and we'll see you after the game. See you on the other side.